Hello, everyone. I am Tiffany, and I'm here today with our guest, Nicki Keohohou. How are you, Nicki?
Great, thanks.
We are so very honored to have her here on Beauty and Confidence Within, how to radiate your unique power and beauty from the inside out. So, Nikki is a certified business coach, a longtime business owner, and executive. She's an author, she's a facilitator, a speaker, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and she is also named top 25 businesswomen in Hawaii and the top 30 female entrepreneurs in America. Needless to say, I'm so honored to have her here because she has some valuable information to share. So thank you again, Nikki, for coming on. For those that don't know you, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into your work?
Hmm. I started off as a teacher because I always wanted to build self-esteem in children. And then I got started in business after being a teacher in direct selling and other types of traditional business for many, many years, and then started the DSWA, the Direct Selling World Alliance and Coach Excellence School, about 20 years ago, and have been serving people from around the world ever since.
Love it. So how long have you had your own business?
Oh, I've been an entrepreneur for most of my life. I started looking at this right out of college when I first started teaching. Um, then, ever since then, I've just moved from business and through business and learned. And now I'm serving on advisory board, so it's another phase in my life, which is pretty exciting.
I know, I love that journey, starting with teaching and then coaching and then now advising. That's awesome. So I would just like to start asking, how do you portray confidence and inner beauty to your clients and your community?
Mm. Well, first of all, we must model it ourselves. We've got to start with that ourselves. Big difference between confidence and arrogance, though.
Mm,
So that confidence is a gentle way of saying, I'm comfortable in my own skin.
mhm.
So I feel me modeling it is important. And then teaching others how to gain confidence in themselves is also a big factor.
Mhm. It is. Um, so how do you teach others to be confident in themselves? Like what?
By starting to look for wins versus everything that's wrong with ourselves.
Mhm.
Some women in particular compare. We look at other people and there's two different kinds of comparison. There's internal and external. And external, we look at them and say, well, she's really pretty. And I'm not as pretty as her. She's got a degree. I don't have a degree.
Mhm.
She has a supportive family. I don't have a supportive
Mhm.
family. And we look and compare ourselves to someone else, putting them here. What we're really doing is putting us here.
Mhm.
So learning how to look at people and find out what is like them. So if I look at somebody, I could say, I'm like Tiffany. She loves people. I'm like Tiffany. She has a passion for life. I'm like
Mhm.
Tiffany. She brings joy to other people. So
Mhm.
learning how to compare and be like those that we admire.
Mm.
Learning how to enlarge your comfort zone, to be a little bit uncomfortable. If you sit in
Mhm.
that comfort zone, it's warm and fuzzy in there. But guess what? You don't ever grow.
Mhm.
So when people say to you, get out of your comfort zone, guess what? We don't want to get out. And if we do, we'll step out and run right back into the
Right?
way.
True. True.
So teaching others to take baby risks, baby steps,
Uh-huh.
and celebrating the journey,
Mm.
looking for what went well, not always what didn't work.
Mm. I love that comparison that you made. Instead of putting ourselves down here, we rise up to meet this
Yeah.
whatever we're trying to compare ourselves to and just appreciate our own beauty too. There was I interviewed your daughter Grace, and a quote comes up for me from that interview where I had told her, she was saying something, but the quote that came up for me, which comes up right now, is a flower doesn't think of competing with a flower next to it, it just blooms. So it's not competition, it's just about flourishing in your own way.
I'm looking for collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've had a saying for many years, the river of life is smooth when everything that we do is for the good of all.
Mm-hmm.
When we learn how to live with the good of all in mind, we find a lot of wins. And whenever you find a win, it's supporting you in growing your confidence.
That's very true. Very true. Because that's how we become more confident in experiencing our successes. That's right. Can you tell me what the difference is between being powerful and empowering others?
That's so interesting that you say that because, people say to me all the time, Nikki, you're a powerful woman. And I just say this just because I believe it. I said, I'd much rather be empowering to others than powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the interesting thing about this powerful deal. If you are powerful, sometimes you are overpowering others.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's force versus strength.
Mm-hmm.
So empowering others, you're not there to help them because sometimes we help people where we attract the helpless
Mm-hmm.
and people start to lean on us. So when we are empowering, we are a support system for them. We're there to support them, not to drag them across the finish line. So empowering people lets them see how great they are themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They see their greatness and they know what is possible for
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is the difference.
Yeah, that's very true. So helping others realize their own power, instilling their power within them.
Yes.
How do you push past fear and self-doubt to step into your own power?
Mm. I was very blessed. I had amazing parents, and I know a lot of people don't.
Mm.
Parents were unique people. My father was an entrepreneur, hard worker, smart man, not a good communicator.
Mm.
My mother was a very positive, encouraging person. And she'd say to me, Nikki, these are temporary situations. This isn't for life. So
Mm-hmm.
when something would come up that was challenging or difficult, this is a temporary situation. What one thing can you do today to move beyond this situation? She
Mm-hmm.
also taught me how to self coach, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the quality of the questions that you ask yourself are directly related to the quality of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask yourself, why am I so stupid? Why is nothing working? Why is she making more money than me? We start doing all those things, we get the answers, and we stay in mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
The option for us is to choose to see beyond the current circumstances. What is beyond this situation? And that's what's always supported me to get through things.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So it's all temporary. We just have to remember that.
It is. And one other thing about that is how we speak. We teach at DSWA and Coach Excellence School enlightened vocabulary. And
Mm-hmm.
our word choices make a big difference. Words matter. And they can be a heavy weight on our shoulders or they can lift us up. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very cautious with the word choices I use with myself and with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not going to hear me say I'm exhausted
Mm-hmm.
because whenever you say I am, whatever is after that follows you.
Right.
So, I have more than enough energy
Mm-hmm.
to do what I choose to do, to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish what I choose to accomplish. I don't say I'm overwhelmed. That's a victim word. I'm overwhelmed versus I have unlimited opportunities. I choose to prioritize now. So words give us power or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very careful with what I speak out because I know what I speak out, I bring about. And when I hear it in other people, just like the little word but. Well, I had a pretty good month, but I didn't do this. I had a great day, but this didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
All we did is discount everything in front of that. Not a good choice.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way to think about it too. When we say but, we discount
Every,
everything that we put before it. That is so true. That's so true. Using being mindful of the words that we speak. And you're right when you say like I am tired or I am whatever, that's
yes.
what you are. So I try to say I am loved, I am confident, I am abundant, and I know that like that will help elevate my vibration and frequency. So you're totally right about that. Mhm. So in talking a little bit about challenges, how do you think challenges can contribute to confidence?
I've always believed that life has challenges and that sometimes bad things happen to good people. It's what we do with the situation,
Mm.
how we go forward in this situation. And, both of my children had health challenges as kids. I sometimes have both of them in the hospital at the same time. And my son had an accident, 32 operations over 11 years, in debt massively. We didn't have proper insurance at that stage of our life. And we had like $350,000 in debt. And, people think when you don't have any money is bad. When you're in debt like that, it's worse, trust me. Created a financial freedom list. And every time we made a payment towards financial freedom, it wasn't paying a debt, it was moving towards financial freedom. And we paid that entire thing off. It taught us what was possible. And another thing, my dad said to me, Nicki, these aren't mistakes, these are learning experiences. If you're learning from it. So whatever challenges come to you in your life, what is my lesson here? What am I learning?
Yes.
How would I do things differently the next time? Ask yourself those questions, because in life you want to keep moving forward. You don't want to stay still. You want to keep moving forward. And those challenges can move us forward, move us backwards, or sit in a pity party for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. So true. You're an inspiration for me because my son had surgery just a little bit over a year ago. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and his aftercare was just very excruciating for him and for me as a parent to take care of him. And then during that same time, I'm like opening up my salon and having to like remodel. So it's just a lot of struggle, I feel like. But I always try to always remind myself too that like it's just temporary. There's better days after this. You just got to put in the work, and you're learning. You have to learn from these experiences. Like, how am I going to do this again if I have to? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and you speaking about like getting out of the medical debt is just very inspiring for me to work towards financial freedom as well. So thank you for being that light of hope for me and a lot of other people as well. Another question I have for you is, what do you think would cause people to not feel worthy, and how can we overcome that?
Sometimes we had people in our past that have said things to us. You'll never amount to anything. You can't do that. Our dream takers in our lives. And negative Nellies and negative Neds. It could be grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, husband. Hopefully it's an ex-husband. It's somebody long, a teacher. Influences in our lives who have made us feel. Now think about this. Made us feel. Really, nobody has the right to make us feel anything. We choose to feel a certain way. And how can we control that? So those people in the past that said those things to us, we might still be replaying those sounds, those videos. So what that's really doing is giving power to that person. They are still controlling our thoughts. And worthiness is a choice. See, I believe we're all worthy. I believe that we all have opportunity out in front of us. And I know that the people sometimes they're trying to protect us by saying, don't take that risk, just get a job, and we're just going to get by. Or they'll say things like, my great grandparents were poor, my grandparents were poor, my parents were poor, I'm poor, and you're going to be poor. They think that they're just kind of getting you prepared for this life of what it shall be, versus how do you choose to live your life? How much abundance would you like surrounding you? What will it take for you to get more, have more, create more, be able to give more? What would you like your life to look like? So we maybe didn't have those people in our life. Well, now's the time for us to begin coaching ourselves. A great question is, what makes me worthy? Because I'm kind, because I'm giving, because I'm generous with other people, because I follow the law, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Asking yourself that. And what does, I'm going to use the word God. You use whatever word you want. What is God's purpose for me? How would he like me to show up? in the world. You see, we have control over our own mind. And if we let junk in the trunk, we let voices from the past keep invading our thinking, how much power do you want to give that person? See, I wouldn't. I've only had a few people like that in my life that I've been in business with or done things that have said mean, ugly things. And I'll hold up the mirror and just say, is that truth or their perception? And if it's their perception, I can do nothing about their perception. My truth is that I'm honest, that I'm a person of integrity, that I'm a hard worker. That's my truth. So we've got to say good things to ourselves, and even more than affirmations, because sometimes with affirmations, what we'll do is, say, I am a good speaker. I am a great speaker. And in the back of your head, you're going, you are awful. Yeah, you're not that good. We have a saying in Hawaii, she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. And I'm telling you that, so we think we're lying to ourselves. So a question is different. This is your self-coaching. What are my gifts and talents? Your brain works harder for a question than it ever will work for a statement. So you're alert. You will think about that and answer that question, just as, why do I never have any money? So we say, well, because you spend too much money, because you don't save, so you scold yourself more. How can we be empowered if we're going around scolding ourselves all day and finding fault in ourselves? Let's lift ourselves up. There's more of us to give to others when we hold ourselves up.
Yes, be our own cheerleader. Because no one else is going to do it for us. We have to start within ourselves.
Absolutely.
So much power in your words. I appreciate all of them. Thank you. So what would you say in working with people? What's the most fulfilling part of what you do?
Watching people shift their thinking and their being. When someone has a paradigm shift and they see the world through some different glasses, they show up differently. So I've always, that was my goal as a young person, was to build self-esteem in children. And that was why I chose to be a teacher. Then I realized when I started working with adults that, wow, they would influence those children. When I started working with the grandparents, they could influence those children.
Yes, very true.
So what it did is I realized there's more. I can give more. So me being with people is my greatest joy. It is to see their life have hope, to see them realize things, that blind spots that they might have had. That's really the gift of coaching, is supporting people to move beyond their current circumstances, to think beyond today. Because you see, whatever we think about, we bring about. So if your thoughts aren't serving you, you're not feeling good about doing something or being something or going somewhere. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to action in action. So if your feelings are moving you to inaction, it's starting back with your thoughts. Action in action leads to results. If you're not getting results in life, it may not have anything to do with your job or your career or how you look. It may have nothing to do with that. It very well could be that you're not thinking thoughts that are serving you. My Sunday school teacher, when I lived in Dallas, Texas, his name was Zig Ziglar, and some of you may know him. And he goes, you got to get rid of that stinking thinking, because that stinking thinking is leading you nowhere. And he was right. It is right.
Yeah.
Poor thoughts will lead to no results or bad results.
I'm so glad that you are out there helping people and influencing them, because I feel like they have so much to learn from you. We have so much to learn from your way of thinking. So it's very beautiful. Yeah. What advice do you have to make women feel beautiful and confident within themselves?
It's interesting because women are the hardest on ourselves.
Mm.
We look for flaws. We look for what's wrong
Mm-hmm.
versus what's right. And when someone, even if your husband gives you a compliment and says to you, honey, what a beautiful dress. You just look beautiful today.
Mm.
And you go, this whole thing, I found it on the floor at Ross and I had to crawl underneath to get it. It was on sale. It was only $2. Has a hole under the arm and it rides up on my rear. Yeah, but thanks. And then we wonder why they never compliment us because we push it away. We say,
Oh my God, that's so true. It's
you see, it doesn't
true.
matter. Just receive the gift. All you have to say is, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And when people share something about you that is positive, take it in.
Mm-hmm.
If they got a bunch of negative stuff, you can put your armor on, protect your body so none of those daggers get into your being. Because what they have to say like that really is not important in the rest of your life. So I'd say for all of us, it's up to us to do with what we have. And beauty, I came from, I'm going to give you a different example. I came from a family of very smart people. They're all like Mensa type people. And like they know what year King Tut died. I could care less. He's dead. It won't matter to me in the rest of my life. But I always thought I wasn't as smart. So I took myself down in my intelligence because I wasn't like them. I compared myself to them. And one day I went to my mom and I just said, Mom, I'm not like them. I don't want to study for 5 hours after school. I'd rather be outside playing and having fun or being in a club or doing something else where I can learn other things besides about King Tut and geography. And she said, so Nicki, where are your gifts? She's so smart. And I said, well, my gifts are with people. My gifts are with understanding others. My gifts are being of service to others. And she said, so what would happen if you focused on your strengths and your gifts? What would that do in the rest of your life? And I said, well, Mom, I would really work at being better at it and understanding people and being of service to people and expanding. Like now I'm into emotional intelligence and EQ and, coaching. I have so many different things. She never said to me, Nicki, you're right. You're not as smart as them. She said, you have a different type of intelligence. You have social and you have emotional intelligence. You know what? The rest can come when needed. Go with your strengths. So I would say to everybody, I used to say I'm not the sharpest crayon in the box, and I stopped saying that when I found out it followed me. And now I say I have different kinds of intelligence, and I'm going to expand and explore those. And the other thing when you talk about beauty, I've got to say this, another thing my mom did, 12 years old, she got us all started on skincare. And she said, no matter what your features are, if your skin is clean and looks nice and vibrant, your beauty will shine through. And she said, focus on others and you don't need to worry about what you look like. Let people know how much you care about them. They don't care how much you know. They want to know how much you care about them. So all those lessons I put into my life, and
yes,
I'm blessed.
Yes, you learned a lot from your mom. She gave you these tools at such a young age.
She did.
So she's a very intelligent woman too.
Yes, and a great loss when she passed away, because every day she had Alzheimer's. So I might hear the same story 20 times, but every day I got to learn something from her. And I am so thankful that both my parents were in my life.
Oh, yes, that's beautiful. They raised a very fine woman in you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what kind of tools you use to boost your confidence, whether they be CDs or podcasts, books, routines? What do you use?
Everything. I am a student, and I think when you stop learning, you stop earning.
Mm,
When you stop growing, you stop going.
mm.
So I do everything that I can to continue to learn. When I speak at a convention, I stay the whole time because I want to learn from everybody else. And
Mhm.
I'm in there taking notes. People are shocked at that.
Mhm.
What would make you not?
Right,
You
exactly.
only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
So it's important to do other things. So Audibles, audiobooks, I'm pretty good at. We're adding that to our DSWA
Oh,
membership now.
yay.
Is exciting. We have lots and lots of books. And then, by the way, just a hint, I donate those to the prisons or to the rehab centers or whatever when I'm done with them. And
Mhm.
I've read them. I'm not going to read them 5 times. Some people do. Some books I read twice, but most um, I give away. If Grace hasn't read it yet, I'll give it away. So share the knowledge. So
Mm,
I
that
do.
is so beautiful to
Mm,
donate to prisons. I'd never thought of that option, but
oh, you just can't take card back, but just take a box of them in there and make sure that the prisoners get them because there's not much positive
mm,
around them. They need positive in their lives.
mm, great idea. Thank you for that. I
Mhm.
have some books that are ready to go. So thanks for the suggestion. Um, also, I was going to ask you for if we wanted to work with you, if we wanted to continue working with you or your coaching program, how can we do that?
Well, there's several different things that one, the DSWA, the Direct Selling World Alliance, people that are entrepreneurs, whether it's person to person sales, party plan, network marketing, the DSWA.org has a membership with an app. And there's so much training and tools. I'm learning from all those people. We just brought on a very famous business out of New York that is teaching about wealth management, and it's so good. It's only $8.95 a month to become a member of the DSWA.
Mm-hmm.
Just go to dswa.org/membership. dswa.org/membership. And you can become a member and get our new app and every week get a new training and there's audios and videos and articles and social images that you can use on your own personal social media. Then we also have a CD that I think is really important. Go to our store,
Mm-hmm.
dswa.org/store, and type in confidence.
Okay.
There's a great CD that I did called Cloak of Confidence. And it's really how to surround yourself with this cloak. And I had this big velvet purple cloak made that when I do this talk, I wear that cloak. And
Really?
it has gold ties and it's just beautiful.
Uh,
People want their picture in that
mhm.
because what it is surrounding yourself, holding yourself as whole and complete.
Mm,
Who you are is more than enough.
mm,
And knowing you have greatness, it may not be the same as the person next to you,
mhm.
but you are given your unique gifts.
Yes, very true. Your
Hold
unique
on to
gift.
those. Yes.
Hmm. All so beautiful. Thank you, Nikki. I will put the links in the notes so that we can find you on your DSWA website and we can look for the membership as well as the book. So valuable.
And Coach Excellence School is another part of that. You can find more information on the DSWA website or coachschool.org.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So I'll ask a final question. What can you tell us that we can do one thing super easy to implement today, right now, in order to start feeling beautiful and confident from the inside out?
Honor yourself. Honor yourself when you have any sort of progress
Mhm.
to celebrate more often. And you don't need to go buy things to celebrate. You know, my mom said she was coming back as a butterfly. So I go outside here and I look for butterflies. And she always shows up. That's a
Aw.
way I celebrate a baby step.
Mm.
And one other thing is really practice the self-coaching. There's a great CD in the store on that too. Self-coaching is the quality of the questions you ask. They begin with who, what, when, where, or how.
Mm.
And ask a question that you can answer
Mm.
and practice taking care of you.
Mm. Very important. Thank you, Nikki, for your time today. We appreciate you. We are signing off here on Beauty and Confidence Within. We totally hope that you have gained the insight, like Nikki was saying, to use your own personal and unique gifts to step into your own confidence and be the most confident and empowered version of yourself. So thank you again, Miss Nikki. It was great to have you.
Aloha.
Aloha and mahalo. We will see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.